San Diego 6 News in the morning.
At 7:13, investigators believe Chinese hackers may be responsible for a massive computer breach against Anthem Blue Cross, the nation's second largest health insurer. Hackers are said to be stealing personal information from Anthem and other healthcare companies for purposes other than pure profit. The breach was discovered last month but announced just this past week. Personal information such as Social Security numbers, emails, and income data were exposed. Now, the Senate Subcommittee on Consumer Protection, Products Safety, and Insurance held a hearing on data breaches yesterday. Last year, Sony, Target, Home Depot, Experian, and eBay, just some of the major companies that got hacked. The committee said that it would like to see 2015 as the year Congress passes laws to protect Americans, including federal data breach notification legislation. Well, let's ask our next guest if that's not kind of, trying to close the barn door after the horse is already out. He is a senior cybersecurity researcher with ESET North America. His name is Stephen Cobb, and he joins us right here. Great to see you this morning.
Good to be here.
First off, I read a line in that story that said motivations other than pure profit. What would those be?
So the speculation there, and I have to stress it is currently speculation, is that this breach plus a couple we saw last year, maybe harvesting of information to build profiles about key individuals, for example, people in the military and defense, because Anthem has a lot of federal and defense customers. At this point, though, we don't know. It could be simply that thieves are going to use this for identity theft.
And that's a profit motive, and
that is a profit motive. I mean, last year, identity theft, just in the tax identity fraud area alone, netted about $5 billion for bad guys here in America who they actually buy this information on the internet, on dark markets, as we call it, and use it to impersonate people.
Now, they hold these hearings and they say, well, we want to get some consumer protection. We'd like them to be notified afterwards. How can they protect us? And thanks for the notification, but it's a little late, isn't it?
Yes, I think I sympathize with that point of view. I think what's happening right now is there's a whole slate of legislation proposed, some of which is very good. It's not getting much attention, but changes to the law and law enforcement potentially around this. But clearly we're behind, very behind, in putting resources into deterrence because
it's just stopping these breaches from happening.
Right. I mean, if you're the people who took all those credit card numbers from Target, you're still at large, you're enjoying the ill-gotten gains. And we need to identify people faster, bring them to justice faster, so there is more deterrence. On the other hand, this for businesses certainly, a national breach notification law is a benefit, because right now, Anthem's probably dealing with upwards of 40 different state rules on notification, which is just a bureaucratic nightmare. They all have different rules.
Has Anthem, to your knowledge, reported this story fairly accurately? It looks like that they say no credit card information that they're aware of has been stolen, but I mean, come on, you didn't know somebody was hacking into your system either.
So Anthem, certainly amongst security professionals, gets some credit for being early in its announcement. One of the problems there is that you don't know exactly necessarily what's happened. You'll notice that they use the term very sophisticated hack, and we've seen this last year with JP Morgan Chase used that same term, and Sony used that term because they're looking at the lawsuits, and apparently there's already one filed in Indiana where Anthem is based.
Well, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, company after company after company gets hit, and some of them very large that have the resources to, I would assume, do what's necessary to protect our information. So at this point, I think it's time to ask, is any of our information safe? Or if it's out there, it's got to be exposed, and we should expect somebody's going to get it.
I think it's a fair question. I think the prudent thing for people to do these days is monitor fairly closely all of their accounts. I get an alert anytime any money comes out of my account. And
my wife gets the same alert when I take $20 out of the teller machine. So
right, we need to be cognizant, and we have the tools. Most accounts will give you these alerts. We need to stay on top of it, and we all need to be aware of the potential for fraud using our identity. And I think we all need to push companies and our government for more protection in these areas. As consumers, yes, we feel exposed.
All right, Stephen Cobb with ESET. Thank you so much for coming in. Can we call on you in the future as questions come up?
You certainly can be happy to do. That's what they pay me to do, is research this stuff.
Very good. Hey, thanks for coming in this morning.
You.